Stoltenberg, what's the biggest difference between Trump and Biden as president?
Good evening. I just finished a very good meeting with President Biden. We addressed a wide range of issues, Russia, China, global terrorism, cyber threats, and also the security consequences of climate change. But we spent most of the time on preparing the upcoming NATO summit in Brussels next week, where we will agree a forward-looking, ambitious agenda on how to further strengthen our alliance. Well, China is also an issue that was addressed during the meeting with the president. It will also be an issue that is addressed when the NATO leaders meet next Monday. And what we see is that, of course, the rise of China poses some opportunities for our economies for trade, and we need to talk to China on issues like, and engage with China on issues like climate change and arms control. At the same time, China will soon have the biggest economy in the world. They already have the second largest defense budget, the biggest navy. They are investing heavily in advanced military capabilities, and they don't share our values. We see that in the way they crack down on democratic protest in Hong Kong, how they deal with minorities, the Uyghurs, and how they coerce neighbors, and how they threaten Taiwan. So we need to stand up for the rules-based international order, and we need to work more closely with partners, including in the Asia Pacific, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, and Japan. And I expect this will be an issue that will be addressed.
And you're talking about China and Russia. What is your
dialogue with Russia is not a sign of weakness. We are strong, we are united, and then we can talk to Russia, and we need to talk to Russia, partly to strive for a better relationship. But even if we don't believe in a better relationship with Russia, we need to manage a difficult relationship with Russia. Arms control, transparency, risk reductions, all of these issues are important.
What will be the role of NATO in the South China Sea?
Okay, Shalom. Giving all praises once again to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakah Kwadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And salutation you all came out there that's been pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. You see the Secretary of the UN saying that China do not share the values of America and the European nations, man, that's running the society. Because Esau is definitely in his power seat, and he's running the society. What we have here is a decline of the Edomite Empire and the so-called rise of the Moabite Empire. But guess what? That's not going to take place, man. These Moabites, they're going to be the next ones to be the next kingdom to rule, the next empire that's going to rise up and take over the earth and rule. That's not going to happen, man. Because the kingdom is going to be given to our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah, and we're going to be joint heirs with him in the kingdom, those that's a part of the elect, man. So these dreams and aspirations that Moab has is not going to come to fruition. It's not going to come to pass, man. But the Lord is moving these Moabites to come up against America, man. The Lord is raising these Moabites up and giving them military might to come up against America. Why? Because they're going to be a part of that assembly of great nations that shall come up against America, starting with Russia, pursuant to Jeremiah, the 15th chapter, the 9th verse, man, on down, man. Where the Most High is going to cause to come, he's going to rise up an assembly of great nations that's going to come up against America, man, which is Babylon, spiritually. And they're not going to have no mercy. And that assembly of great nations is started with Russia, China, Iran, Pakistan, India, North Korea, even America's own allies, such as Great Britain, France, and Germany, are going to come up against this bitch, man. That's that assembly of great nations, man. That's going to come up against America and destroy this bitch. Hey, same thing spoken in Joel, the 2nd chapter, and the 3rd chapter, man. America is going to be destroyed, man. by thermonuclear fire. Zephaniah, the first chapter, the 14th verse and the 15th verse. The day of the Lord cometh, man. The great day of the Lord is coming, man. It's near. It is near, man. That great day of the Lord, which is thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots, man. And we've been telling you. Now you starting to see China buck up against America. You starting to see Russia and all these different nations buck up against America because they see the rapid decline in the American empire, man. The American empire is no longer the great bully on the block. This bitch has been pussified, man, and holed out. And now these nations are starting to buck up, man. It's all due to the spirit of the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, that are sitting there great nations, man. Pursuant to Jeremiah, the 50th chapter, the 9th verse, which I brought out earlier in this show, man. So you got to understand this, man. This is the Most High's program, man. Esau is going down. He's in his rapid decline. Moab think he's going to... Moab is being supplanted, man. That's how you know Yahweh is the ultimate Jake, man. Because he's supplanting Moab and supplanting these Russians because they're part of BRICS. Supplanting them, thinking that China think that they're gonna be the next one to rule. Russia think that they got their hand to be the next ones to rule, but that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen, man. I got a few scriptures. Abba Ratazah, you about to be edified, man. Malachi chapter 4 verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven. And all the proud, Esau is the definitely most proud demon on this earth, man. Esau being the so-called white man. It says, for behold, the days cometh that shall burn as an oven. And all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. All you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's following the ways of Esau, being homosexuals, being lesbians, gangbangers, transgenders, committing adultery, do as thou wilt, as that doctrine that Aleister Crowley pushed in the early 1900s, man. And you got these rappers such as Jay-Z and a bunch of other rappers pushing that same agenda, man, that Aleister Crowley pushed. Do as thou wilt, man. You're going to be stubble. You're going to be stubble. It says, we read it again. Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Because once this bitch be destroyed, once America is destroyed, you're not gonna have no Edomite coming out of the holes, out of the clefts of the rocks, talking about we're gonna rebuild this broken society. They're gonna have chains slapped on them, man. Pursuant to Ezekiel, the 39th chapter, the 14th verse, man. You Edomites is gonna be the first fruits of slaves, man. You international bankers, y'all not gonna do shit, man. But have chains slapped on your necks and your wrists and your red ass ankles and your red ass waist, man. And you're gonna be getting the shit beat out of you. That's your future. So it says it should leave neither root nor branch, because you Edomites is not gonna come back into power and build your desolate cities after they be destroyed, man. No, it's not happening, man. It says, it should leave neither root nor branch. Dig that. It should leave neither root nor branch. That means you're not coming back into power ever. Ever. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 12. The earth quakeneth, and the foundations thereof, the sea rise up from the ways from the deep, and the ways of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord Yahweh, and before the glory of his power. The glory of the Lord's power is them chariots, man. Also them nuclear missiles, which is the Lord's army. That's the glory of the Lord. Them chariots and them nuclear missiles, man. That's going to destroy this place utterly, man. It says, verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. Them bows represent them nuclear silos that's holding them ICBM nuclear missiles. Them supersonic, them hypersonic nuclear missiles, man. The bow is a representation of them nuclear silos that's holding them nuclear weapons. You understand and you comprehend it. Let's move on. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp. Them arrows represent them nuclear missiles. And they're going to be shot off when they are sharp. Why? Because they're going to be laser guided and spiritually guided. Whereas they're not going to break their ranks, they're not going to fall, they're not going to fall out the sky. They're going to hit their target, man. It says, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, from the eastern hemisphere to the western hemisphere, from the western hemisphere to the eastern hemisphere, man, to the north. That's why in Isaiah the 24th chapter, the 19th verse on down, it says the earth quakeneth, the earth shall roll to and fro like a drunkard, man. What is it saying right here in 2nd Ezra chapter 16 verse 22? The earth quickeneth, man. It's going to shake, like it's going to shake, man, back and forth. It's going to be rocked off its axis, because why? Nuclear missiles are going to be shot off from the north to the east. To the east, to the west, man. And that's how it's going down, man. It says, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss, when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not miss. Behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they have come upon the earth. Them plagues that is talking about is in the book of Zechariah, man. I believe it's the 12th chapter, the 14th verse. So them plagues are coming, man. Them plagues are coming. This is Zechariah. Let me see this. Let's make sure. Yep, Zechariah 14 and 12, man. Zechariah, the 14th chapter, the 12th verse, man, goes into the plagues that's going to be sent, man. The plagues that it says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till they consume the foundations of the earth, like as an arrow, which is the nuclear missiles, which is shot of a mighty archer, returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Them plagues, first and foremost, started with death, the sword, famine, teeth of wild beasts, upwards of the people. All these plagues is going to lead into an ultimate plague, which is going to be thermonuclear destruction. Are you understanding? Are you comprehending? And this is the plagues, man. It says, the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth. That fire is going to be by the way of thermonuclear destruction and concentrated fire from them chariots, man, them laser beams, if you will, man. And that's how it's going down, my man. Whether you were here, whether you were forbear, but that's what's going down, man. That's how it's going down, man. Second Ezra chapter 16 verse 15. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundations of the earth, like as an arrow which is shot of an archer, a mighty archer, returneth not backwards, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again, man. All these plagues is going to cling unto this earth, cling unto Esau society, man. This empire is circling the drain. Moab, think he got the next. He's the next in line. he got another thing coming. He's going to be a pot washer and a servant and a slave in the kingdom. That's his future, right along with Esau. Shalom.